Fear-based dependency. The private inventory of regrets. Losing parts of yourself without realizing it. In a controlling or emotionally heavy relationship, people often give up pieces of themselves slowly. Hobbies, friendship, personal goals, creativity, joy, independence. This loss happens quietly over months or years until one day they feel empty or disconnected. Signs of self loss include feeling smaller than before, forgetting what you enjoy, lack of motivation, emotional numbness, reduced sense of identity. The self becomes a shadow of what it once was. Why it happens? Identity erodes gradually due to avoidance based emotional habits. Mechanism involved conflict avoidance. You gave up parts of yourself to keep peace. Chronic self minimization. You shrink desire to avoid tension. Emotional overload. You feel too drained to invest in yourself. Adaptive self dimming. You dull your personality to prevent triggering conflict. This process is slow, subtle, and cumulative. What you can do: list 3 things you lost in 30 seconds. Write down 3 things you stopped doing because of emotional shrinking. For example, stopped playing guitar, stopped meeting friends, stop reading, stop exercising, stop laughing freely. Just list 3. Why this works? Naming the losses externalizes them. It turns vague emotional discomfort into defined psychological information. Defined problems can be repaired. Undefined ones continue silently draining the self. This step begins identity reconstruction. Feeling disconnected from your former self. Many individuals feel they have lost their spark, passion, or natural energy. Life starts feeling mechanical rather than meaningful. This disconnection often appears as flat emotions, reduced curiosity, loss of ambition, feeling older emotionally, increased self doubt. This is not personality change, it is emotional fatigue. Why it happens? Disconnection occurs because the brain stops receiving reinforcing signals from previously rewarding activities. Processes behind it: reward circuitry downregulation, understimulation of personal interests, emotional suppression becoming habitual, loss of identity, cues from social environment. The mind forgets what used to energize it. Action plan. Choose one item to restart this week from the list you wrote earlier. Pick one lost activity and restart it for just 10 minutes this week. For example, play one song, message one friend, do one page of reading, try 5 minutes of a hobby, just one activity. Why this works? Re-engaging even briefly with a lost part of yourself activates dormant neural pathways. This restores emotional vitality, increases dopamine regulation, rebuilds a sense of agency, reconnects you with pre-relationship's identity. It is a psychological reboot. No time or space to reconnect with yourself. When daily life feels monitored, noisy, or pressured, the individual loses access to quiet internal processing. Without personal mental space, reconstruction becomes impossible. Why it happens? The partner's moods, expectation, and rejections occupy too much cognitive space. The mind becomes cluttered with external demands. Mechanism works. Emotional vigilance, suppressed thoughts, chronic worry, over attunement to partner's feeling. Internal clarity cannot form in a crowded mind. Microaction, weekly self connection hour. Spend 1 hour alone this week in a quiet, neutral place like a park, cafe, terrace, empty room, rooftop, anywhere peaceful. No phone, no multitasking. Just sit, breathe, reflect. What happens? Solitude downregulates the stress system and restores cognitive grounding. This hour becomes an identity oxygen mask, giving your mind room to reconnect with who you really are. This is foundational for long term emotional rebuilding. Summary: in emotionally controlling relationships, self loss occurs gradually through the quiet abandonment of interests, joy, and independence. Identity erosion is driven by conflict avoidance, emotional exhaustion, and habitual self minimization. Disconnection from one's former self reflects emotional fatigue, not a true change in personality. Bringing awareness to what has been lost is the first step toward identity repair. Small re engagement with past interest and intentional solitudes help restore vitality, clarity, and a sense of self.